I started working as a secretary when I was 17, when I left school, because I couldn't think what else to do. What you work with is the words that go from that office and the words that come into that office, and everything's done with words. And that's what you do, you type the words. So you become very aware of how, when you're writing to somebody important, and everybody assumes that it's a man that you're writing to, so they say, "Dear Sir," I would try and write "Dear Sir" or "Madam," or more recently I've been trying to do "Dear Madam" or "Sir," to try and challenge that assumption that it's always a man that's the important one. When I'm typing a letter to a woman, I always try and put "Ms," because that just says this is a woman I'm writing to, and it doesn't refer to whether she's married to a man or not. But some bosses don't like you to put "Ms," partly because it's often laughed at, and partly because they don't want women to start challenging those notions. So when I started playing drums and being in the band, obviously how I've come to view things affects what I do in the band and affects the songs that we write, so that when we write a song about language, that certainly comes into it.
Dear Sir, House of Lords, mankind, chairman, Mrs. John Hurt, masterpiece, manpower.
When you start to listen to the words in the mainstream pop music business, then you start to think about it. Like the music in the Rolling Stones, the music that the Rolling Stones do is absolutely fabulous. But then if you start to hear the words, then it's absolutely ghastly, because under my thumb, a girl who has just had her day. It's great music, it's revolting words.
We wrote this song called Manpower, which includes a lot of the words that make us feel angry because they exclude women. When we started, we found no difficulty at all in thinking up a lot of words which proved the point. Things like Dear Sir, House of Lords, Man in the Street came to our minds immediately.
It comes from the basic way that everybody thinks without realising it, which is that men are the main actors in the world and they do everything, and women help them and aren't important. That's what that word sexist means. It's that assumption that everybody has, that men are the important ones.
I mean, like, a man would be amazed if he was called a chairwoman. And, you know, if a programme was made called The History of Mankind, or The History of Womankind, or The Ascent of Woman, then everyone would think, well, that's only about women. That's a specific programme about women. But when they call it The Ascent of Man, or all the words that we've just played in our song, then you're expected to fit yourself into that and put up with being a subsection of men, and necessarily a lower category. I think that's what those words imply.
Like a man, man-made, humanity.
The song will keep on growing, I'm sure. I don't think we'll ever have a finished version of it, because we continue to hear these words, and the more aware of them you are, then the more angry they make you.